What's up, Ride Warriors? Today we'll be tracking the thrills at Blue Bayou Dixie Landin theme park in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Blue Bayou Dixie Landin is actually one of the newest theme parks to open in the United States, opening on July 11th, 2001. It's two parks for the price of one. Blue Bayou is the water park, and Dixie Landin is the dry side of the park, home to several classic flat rides including a carousel, a drop tower, a music express, and a log flume. It is also home to 4 roller coasters. The first of which is Loco Loco, an offering from E&F Myler Industries that opened in 2010 after being relocated from the now defunct Nut Tree Park in California. It's a pretty standard offering from Myler, however it is a bit larger than what you would tend to see at some of the Cedar Fair parks. It also has the newer style restraints that are seen on rides like Cosmos Curves at Knoebels. It does have some fun hills and turns, but it's still just a kiddie coaster, just going to ride this one once, so we're going to go with 1 star here for Loco Loco. Next up is Gilbo's Galaxy, and as you might guess by the name, it is a standard Galaxy clone from SDC. Now this ride opened with the park in 2001, but has actually existed since the 1970s when it opened at nearby Pontchartrain Park, which is now defunct, in the city of New Orleans. This ride was actually pretty smooth considering its age and having been moved around a couple times, had some good turns, some good helixes, and it actually had a really nice pop of airtime right at the end of the ride. So I'm actually going to give this one 2 stars, not only for its nostalgia, but also for being quite smooth and having a nice pop of airtime at the end of the ride. So 2 stars here for Gilbo's Galaxy. Next up is Ragin' Cajun. Now this is interesting because the spelling of the ride on the banners inside the park was different from the spelling of the ride on the front of the train and the ride sign. This is a Vekoma boomerang that opened with the park in 2001, but has actually been operating since 1987. It used to run in a park over in the UK. Now, despite being a Vekoma boomerang with an aero train, this ride was actually remarkably smooth. It was very surprising. There was no headbanging whatsoever, no jackhammering. It was very, very smooth, probably the smoothest of the Vekoma boomerangs that I have ever been on, and I've been on a lot of them. So because of that, I'm actually going to go with 2 stars here because it was a very pleasant surprise with how smooth this ride was. So 2 stars for Ragin' Cajun. Last but not least today is Extreme, a spinning coaster from Maurazuna, similar to rides like Undertow at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk and Laugh Track at Hershey Park. There's several of these models around, and this one actually dates back to the year 2000. It opened here in Louisiana in 2007, but prior to that operated in the Netherlands and on the German fair circuit. It was a fun ride. We got some good spinning. It was a little bit shaky though. It was a bit rougher than some of the other models that I have ridden. It was an enjoyable ride, but not quite enough to put it in the 3-star category here. So I'm going to go ahead and give 2 stars to Extreme. So there you have the roller coasters of Blue Bayou Dixie Landin theme park. As you can see, a pretty standard collection. Only 4 roller coasters here, none of them really all that special, mostly clones or small rides that you can probably ride at other parks more easily. Not a whole lot of theme parks down this way either. It's in a pretty remote area. The only way that you're really going to get to this park is maybe if you're visiting New Orleans to visit the city, or if you're making a southern road trip and you happen to be driving through the Baton Rouge area. So definitely not a park to make a special trip for, but worth a stop if you are in the area. So that's all we have for this edition of Tracking the Thrills. Thank you for joining us, and as always, ride on, Ride Warriors.